What's up, everyone? I have some pretty unfortunate news about the podcast this week. The audio corrupted at the end of the episode, and so unfortunately, we have no audio from the microphones. Instead of just scrapping the episode, it's a big week. It's the finals. We decided to use the audio from the cameras, so the quality's not up to the standard we usually like to set, but we still got a great episode for you here. Thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for listening. Let's get to the episode.
Stick talk. 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 Stick talk.
And hockey.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 113 of Stick Talk Hockey. As always, I'm your host, Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
Over there, we got our producer.
Jay.
And we are into the Stanley Cup Finals now.
Hell yeah, we are.
Hell yeah, we are. 2 games in. Game 2 just wrapped up here. I was worried, like we had a recording here scheduled, and this game just was simply not ending.
I was genuinely concerned as well, because I also wasn't leaving my house.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I refused. The last time I was like, okay, I'll try and squeeze the travel in and catch the end of the... No, I missed the game-winning goal on my way here.
Yeah.
Sickening stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And
Never again.
And it just didn't even look like the game was gonna end. Like, these guys were so exhausted. I'm very thankful we have a 2-day break before the next game now, because those guys just looked done, and there was no plays happening. It was sloppy everywhere. At the end of the first OT, it was sloppy everywhere, and then even more so in the second.
Yeah, I was definitely grunting and 2-day break. What am I gonna do with my life?
Yeah.
This is what I've tailored my whole lifestyle around for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
What do I have? But
the Pacers.
I guess so, because what the hell?
Yeah.
What the Halliburton? What the Halle Berry?
Dude, apparently, I wasn't familiar. Producer Jay over here was just showing me some Halliburton highlights.
4-game winners.
I have not been that tuned into that run. I mean, I saw that one shot, and I saw this shot last night, obviously, but good grief. I mean, it does kind of feel like destiny for them, even though that's not why we're here.
Yeah, that's not why we're here, but holy Christ, was that some kind of shot.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're just getting cinema. Basketball over there, they're doing their dang thing cinema-wise as well, but over here in the NHL, good grief. We got single OT in Game 1, we got double OT in Game 2. I guess we're getting triple OT in Game 3.
I goddamn hope so, and holy Christ, what a goal from Perry, by the way. Can we talk about how much skill and strength it takes to pull off that kind of a shot where your entire stick is basically taken up by the defender?
Yeah, I mean, spectacular. And even the Game 1 winner. That goal happened because of that quick behind-the-back pass Corey Perry made to Connor McDavid.
He's been so steady.
He looks like he's 65 years old. And I think it's so insane, actually. I feel like we don't actually talk about this Corey Perry thing enough, because he was a top 6 guy. We know that.
Yeah.
And it looked like his career was over in Anaheim.
Yes. Yes, it did.
And then he refound his game as a bottom 6 forward and found a way to contribute in bottom 6s as just kind of a disturber on these playoff teams. And now at 40 years old, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be a top 6 player again.
Hands of time, no bounds.
It's unbelievable.
You can't touch Scory Perry. Once Scory, always Scory, forever Scory. 10 episodes of Scory, 10 seasons of Scory, 1,000,000 seasons of Scory, and a movie.
I got a question for you. Do you think Corey Perry is a Hall of Famer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hands down.
Jay, do you think Corey Perry's a Hall of Famer?
I think so.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think he was even 3 months ago.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
That wasn't like a has your opinion changed on it because of this run thing. Just like, I don't know if we brought him up the last time we did the Are They in the Hall of Fame thing, but he's got all the medals and he's got the cup and he's got all the stuff, you know?
No, definitely. He's one of those guys where it's not even
not really that much of a question, yeah.
It's an instant in for me.
That's very fair. I mean, look, he's 40. I think it's so insane that we're in the Stanley Cup Finals and like the game so far, the two games have basically been decided in 2025 by Corey Perry and Brad Marchand. What is happening? 40-year-old Corey Perry and 37-year-old Brad Marchand.
It's what I said last month. Like, we're really seeing the game change again.
It's unbelievable.
In an era where so much speed and skill dominate,
Yeah.
that experience just reigns supreme sometimes. The elite game sense, hands of time can't touch that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's what kept Yager around for so long too as well. He was
Definitely.
no matter how like weak he got, which was still stronger than half the league, but still.
Yeah.
Or how much he slowed down in
He's
the
a
latter
monster.
years.
Yeah.
Like, he just has that elite game sense.
I also kind of feel like Brad and Corey have that drive. Like, I think most of the Oilers do, but like for the Panthers, there's got to be a little bit of, you know, I'm don't get me wrong, I'm sure that they're playing like there's no tomorrow because it's the Stanley Cup Finals. But like, you won last year, you've been to 3 straight finals now. You probably don't have the same jump you had last year in the finals, trying to get that first one. And so, you know, and Brad, I know he has one, but I mean, his last finals was a Game 7 heartbreak. And I mean, he hasn't won it in almost 15 years. This might be his last shot, and he's making the most of it.
You can see it too. Like, he's truly just gripping the wood white knuckle, and he's here for the ride. Like, I don't know if you guys tuned in for the end of game conferences, but
A little bit, yeah.
he was like still locked in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he had that job's not done look.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't look up to the camera once. He didn't smile, but he knew he did good.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that, like, he commended the team.
Yeah.
That they just whooped the shit out of.
Yeah. Well, 100%.
And I think that really says something. When he's so confident in their ability to win, that he's willing to also shout out that they're playing against the best players in the world.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of players won't do that.
No, you know, you never want to give the other team, you know, corkboard material or whatever, but Brad, I mean, he's a gamer at the end of the day. He's just a gamer at heart.
Championship player, championship talker.
Yeah, for real. Spectacular to say. I mean, I think so far in this series, save for maybe Barkov, he's been their best forward.
Absolutely.
And that's insanity.
I mean,
he's on their third line.
it's that's not actually so shocking, though. You have to imagine he's getting some of the more favorable matchups and pairings. Being on that third line, he's seeing a little bit more open ice. He's getting a little bit of some slower minutes. And he's able to just do his rat garbage. And there's no eyes on him because he's not with that big bad top 6 that's, you know, drawing all of the issues already.
Yeah.
Luosterainen and
I should
Bennett
actually-
and Reinhardt and Kachuk.
Yeah. I mean, that's been something. Kachuk has been an absolute non-factor.
No, yeah, absolutely.
He's clearly hurt. Clearly, whatever that was that he has not recovered from. I don't know if he re-injured what happened at the Four Nations. I think that was groin. I don't know what it is, but he has been a complete non-factor through both games so far.
Yeah, and it doesn't look for lack of trying. It just looks like he doesn't have the step.
Exactly. And just like little things tonight, like stumbling over that wide open look he got, it was like, that's not like him.
Yeah, and like the loose pucks, he's just so able to get separation usually, and you could just see him slumping into the rush.
Yeah.
Like, it just looked bad.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Florida fan, that's certainly concerning. At the end of the day, though, I mean, these are the two best teams in hockey. I think it's just like bar none. Like, I really think the playoffs actually legitimately gave us a proper tiering rank outside of a couple first round outs, like outside of the Kings and Tampa, I'd say. Like, yeah, like the other teams, Dallas and Carolina, are both probably top 5 teams in the league.
Yep.
And then, you know, in the second round, yeah, the Leafs are definitely up there. The Jets were definitely up there, you know, things like that. But, like, here we have the two best teams in hockey. And so far through 2 games, I think this has been the highest caliber finals I've seen in my life. Since, I'd say since, what?
Maybe 2018.
I think it's higher than 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the?
I'd say like maybe New York, LA.
That was the year I'm trying to pull back to. What was that? Because Devils LA was
14.
2012.
It was 14.
Okay. Well, 18 had Nashville, right?
18 was Vegas.
Vegas.
Caps, yeah.
Nashville was 2017 against Pittsburgh.
Penguins.
Okay, that's the one I'm thinking of.
That one was so doo-doo.
Yeah.
17 was trash.
I don't know. I
Sorry,
just
Jay.
remember all of the hype that was going into it, though. Like, I just remember that being, like, the most hyped I'd seen to American markets in so long.
Yeah. But that series didn't have the sauce that this one has so far.
No, God, no. I haven't seen one that has.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Vancouver,
Actually,
Boston.
yep. Or Ottawa and who the hell did Ottawa lose to?
Anaheim?
Yeah, early 2000s, Ray Emery goalie.
Yeah, mid-2000s. Yeah, was that 07? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a baller series.
Yeah, that one still holds
I was
pretty.
a big Ray Emery guy. Rest in peace to Ray Emery. That was crazy.
Yeah, R.I.P.
He was a favorite of mine growing up for sure.
The dude knew how to chuck him.
Yeah, did he ever? Yeah, he could put on a show. Yeah, this, I mean, I was saying to Jonesy this week, like, between the Four Nations, the finals rematch, Brad Marchand killing the Leafs again, the Rantanen saga with him ultimately killing the team that traded him, like, the scriptwriters were cooking in the NHL this year.
They popped off. I'm so here for it.
Popped off. And it's a shame that, you know what, they say Game 1 had, like, the lowest viewership for a non-COVID Stanley Cup Finals in, like, 30 years or something.
Really?
Yeah. And that's a tragedy. But no, apparently it wasn't on cable in the States. Like, you had to have the, like, expansive TNT package to watch Game 1. So that'll probably do it.
Yeah, that checks out.
What a shame.
That's so not shocking as we get... It's so funny that as we get further and further into a world in which everything is achievable and readily available for you at any moment, the NHL perpetually moves themselves further away from that goal.
Just from convenience.
It doesn't make sense. I mean, it's like they're suing Polymarket.
Yeah. Yeah.
They sent their lawyers after Polymarket for making silly recap videos.
Yeah, and it's been apparently a bunch of like YouTubers and stuff that have been saying the NHL's come after them for like making content about the NHL.
Yeah.
McDavid's move for the first goal tonight.
Woo! Woo!
Maybe the most disgusting finals goal I've ever seen. Tragically, Jonesy, you were working tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see that goal?
Yeah, I've seen the highlights.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good, because that was absolutely disgusting. Like, that was the stuff that when McDavid was a rookie, it was like, I remember being like, he's so good, he could pull off a move like he just pulled in the playoffs. And then he did. He's done it a million times in the playoffs now, but forget that. He's doing it in the finals. Like, that was just ridiculous.
Against one of the back-to-back-to-back best teams in the league with one of the most defensively sound forward and defensive groups.
The first player he walked through was the current Selke winner, Sasha Barkov.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And Sasha Barkov, by the way, -3 tonight. Woof.
Woof. Woof.
Woof indeed. He's losing that battle.
Yeah, he definitely is losing that battle so far.
That's been my biggest takeaway from this series so far is honestly that as good as Barkov is,
And I think he's played well.
he has played really well, and that's like I'm not trying to take anything away from
No.
Barkov here. I think it just is such a testament to the point that as good as Barkov is and has consistently been good, there's no containing McJesus.
Elite talent wins.
Elite talent wins. I guess so. You need your superstars when you have the best player in the freaking world. It makes a difference.
They have, most of the time, they have the best player on the ice. Simple as that.
Yeah. And the second that you ice the puck and you're tired, oh Christ, here he comes.
Yeah.
With the second best player in the world right beside him.
Yeah, and that's what really separates him, right? Is like, you look at when a team gets pinned for like a couple minutes in either end, right? At the end of that shift, both sides will be tired, and you see the play drop a little bit, right? Near the end of a long shift where it's a bunch of pressure, and if it's in, the defensive, McDavid's in the defensive zone, he will get the puck at a 2-minute shift and still burned by fresh defenders.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It's uncanny. It's disgusting, and I'm so here for it. We're so lucky
Yeah.
to watch this. Like, Draisaitl's just been unreal, too.
He's been so good.
Like, he's just winning every board battle. He was like, 68% on the faceoff draws tonight?
Yeah.
Like, that's...
He was actually, because like the massive hands-on favorite has been to Connor McDavid to win the Conn Smythe, of course, right? Naturally, and then that's just what it is. But because of that, everyone else was kind of a long shot. And I was looking at that last week going, Draisaitl could do it. If, first of all, he's been scoring like crazy, but I feel like Draisaitl's the kind of guy who, in a game 6 could have that Rantanen, hat trick in the third,
No, absolutely. And I mean, we saw him generating his own stuff tonight, too.
Yeah, big time.
If he wasn't out there already for 1 minute and 10 seconds, he probably would have finished. He just didn't have the last 4 steps.
Yeah, and I mean, he got robbed by Bobrovsky.
Yeah. Oh.
Robbed.
And we have to tip our hats to Bob while we're here.
He was fantastic tonight.
He let 3 in the first, but he shut the door after that, and not, just loosely shut the door. He batting that shit down.
Yeah, he was ironclad. I mean, him and Skinner were both great tonight. It's crazy how we're now in a league where, you can have both goalies let in 4 goals and we'll both be like, they were so good tonight. You know what I mean?
I mean, they basically played 2 games, though, so if you really want to look at it, it's like they let in 2 a game. And that's still pretty damn good. I'm a little less impressed with Skinner, mostly just because he didn't inspire the sort of solid bounce back performance I was seeing in Bob.
Yeah, he had some of that Jonesy patented devil magic, I thought. There were a couple times where it was how did that stay out of the net?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He gets caught, thinking he's not far enough over, which he wasn't, and he was very lucky that whoever was shooting at the time, I forget now, I think it was Reinhardt or some shit. But he didn't go high. He didn't go to the short side. He went low and middle.
Yeah.
And it slid right under his pad. Right while he was adjusting.
Yeah, that's very lucky.
And then dinks the post.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Jay, can you pull up the stats from tonight, actually? Or what you pulling up this for?
I'm just pulling up the point leaders.
Yeah.
In a world where Draisaitl gets it over McDavid, I feel like he'd probably have to finish with
more points.
Well, I don't know. If he has 6 more goals than McDavid and he's within 2 points, do you think McDavid still gets that?
I think I do think for the voters, you have to earn it to pass McDavid. you know?
Yeah.
But I do also kind of feel like if it's super close, like if Draisaitl's going to need a slight edge, because I also think voters would, say McDavid already has one.
I don't think they would say that.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think that the best bet for Draisaitl to actually take lead on this is if he scores a huge goal.
I
Like
think
I'm
he needs a
talking
couple.
like game winning goal.
Yeah, he needs a couple of them.
Cup winning goal.
Yeah.
Like being the hero, the guy who you are like, oh yeah, the guy who won them that series.
Yeah. I mean, he's got what, 2 less points right now? I think, yeah, I think the game, like the game that ends it, if he has a big game, that could do it.
Yeah,
like, I think it's McDavid's to lose, but I don't think it's like it requires a miracle for Leon Draisaitl to win that.
No, there's much closer than you would honestly think, given like how much we talk about McDavid versus Draisaitl.
Yeah.
The fact that they're within 2 points is pretty freaking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're so spectacular together, right?
And McDavid at 25 assists is like,
Yeah.
that's nuts. And how does he only have 6 goals?
I know. Yeah, he hasn't needed to.
No.
Can you? I want to.
What type of stats?
Yeah, I'm looking. I want to see how much McDavid played tonight. Because I know it was double overtime, but like, he had to have played like 35 minutes. 35:07. I mean, like I felt like there were only ever the briefest of stints where I did not see him on the ice.
That's what you have to do, though, if you want to win a cup. Like, you got to play your best players as much as possible.
Yeah, and they want to.
Yeah, and then just work in the rest of the guys where you can. And I think that, for the most part, Knoblauch did a great job of actually keeping this team fresh, not having anyone bench stranded and getting concrete legs.
Yeah.
And still leaning on their best players.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, how often were you looking at, Corey Perry, Connor McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Draisaitl, Brown, Arvidsson, and then somehow flawlessly you just saw Podkolzin and Kane and Janmark out there.
Yeah, Podkolzin actually, they really sheltered him at the end. He finished with their lowest total, 12 minutes across like almost 2 full games.
Yeah, he didn't get much in overtime.
No, he didn't.
Which I found shocking because I really liked his play in the third period.
Yeah, so that's where I was going with that too. Is that coach must have seen something he didn't love from Podkolzin, because I thought he was playing well. Honestly, there was a couple quick chances that he generated, so that's a little bit surprising.
Yeah, unless maybe he got hurt and we didn't see it.
Yeah, something like that.
Silent injuries, they happen.
No, I mean it was just spectacular. I cannot wait for the rest of this. I can't wait.
I'm so excited, and honestly, I just so hope this Panthers team gets their comeuppance. I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Sam Bennett of it all.
We do got to talk about the Sam Bennett of it all. We got to talk about the Luosterainen of it all.
Yeah.
Well, a total pussy boy move today. Comes flying from the blue for a hit, jumps through with the shoulder to the face, and then refuses to drop the gloves.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. You
pussy.
It's just like, it's just so repeated now, and the refs. They set a good standard in the first, right? You mentioned that.
I was so impressed with how they actually pulled the whistles out. It seemed like the refs were truly fed up.
Yeah.
With the Florida game. You saw the refs actually getting physically involved.
Yeah.
And pulling guys apart.
Yeah.
Pushing Florida guys back to their bench.
Yeah. You did, and they did it in game 1 too. They did a good job of keeping that game in check.
Yeah, and it didn't feel out of pocket. It felt like they were keeping it in control, as they had to.
And then unfortunately, like as the game went on, the biggest problem is always in consistency. And that's what happened tonight. I get it. As the game goes on, you put the whistles where you don't want to call everything. But like when you set the standard and then as the game goes on, you get into overtime and stuff. And like Florida got dirtier as that game went on.
Oh, I mean, that's not even a question.
Of course, as they do. But the reffing got looser on it, and that's the thing that you just can't have.
No, I'm all for, put the whistles away. You don't want a fluky call to ruin a good game.
Sure.
But that only works to a certain point, and then when are you going to cost yourselves the integrity of the game?
Yeah. Well, that's just it, right?
Like, are we really watching hockey at this point, or is it a different sport? Because last time I checked, hockey had rules. I don't know.
And I thought it was a game with integrity and sportsmanship.
Yeah, and, I'm all for gamesmanship, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I've been a shithead myself. I'm really good at it.
Indeed, I've seen it with my own 2 eyes.
But at what point do you lose everything in the gamesmanship?
Right.
Like, this is a game that's supposed to have honor, valor, history, integrity,
Sure.
blase,
Sure.
blase. And then you always just get hit with that same narrative. Well, they don't talk about how you did it. They just talk about if you did it. They aren't going to talk about that in 20 years. So what?
Yeah.
Do you want to be remembered as the first place losers or the first of when?
Sure.
Whatever the hell.
I mean, like, some of the things, like Aaron Ekblad, they put the close-up on it. With the puck battle in the corner there. It was Ekblad and Kane. And he was literally, like, Ekblad's on his knees, just holding the blade of Evander Kane's stick. Did you see that?
Yeah,
and then tugging it. And he did it for, like, 7 seconds.
And Kane pulled it out of his hand, and then he grabbed the shaft and pulled it back in.
Like, okay, I get it. I get put the whistles away for things that, and it's in overtime. I understand. But, like, when it's things like that where it's just, like, it's so blatant. Like, you are impacting the game by not making those calls.
Absolutely. You're taking away from the enjoyment of the game because now we're missing out on the skill.
Yeah.
And it's not hockey anymore. It's become...
that looked like something I would have seen some kid do, like, in Shinny.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah.
It's no longer professional hockey.
Yeah.
This has become beer league. This
Yeah.
is bush league. It's something I'd expect out of a Tim's game.
It was tough to see. And, like, look, I'm not saying, like, it's all the Panthers, because there was definitely some questionable calls both ways, specifically in Game 2. But, I mean, obviously the Panthers have been, like, Sam Bennett's run through 3 of 4 goalies he's played against.
And, I mean, look, like, it's one thing that it always looks like an accident.
He's good at it.
Yeah, that's the point. This guy's been
Exactly.
playing the game his whole life.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it. Like, I didn't buy it the first time, and I didn't buy it the second time.
Toronto's definitely going to give that dude, like, $9.5 million.
Oh, for sure. But I got torched for it every single time, because, like, you can't prove that. You can't. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. There's no way that these guys go around and don't know exactly what they're doing. They live, eat, breathe, sleep hockey.
Yeah.
This guy knows what he's doing the second he goes up. He knows he doesn't have a play. He's falling backwards.
Yeah, he falls backwards. That's what he does.
Yeah. And, like, so I was listening to The Sheet with Jeff Merrick.
Yeah.
Shout out Jeff Merrick.
Yeah.
And he had Devin Dubnyk on.
Ah, yes.
And he brought up the Game 1 situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very much of the belief that it should have been a goal. And it was incidental.
Yeah.
And Benny said something. And I went back and watched it when I got home.
Sure.
And I was like, son of a bitch, he's right.
Okay.
Because, yeah, they do connect on skates.
Yes.
But that's not what makes him fall. What makes him fall is the second that he feels his edge catch.
Yeah.
He throws his far side elbow out and towards the goalie. He changed his entire momentum.
Intriguing. Can you give me a replay on that, Jay?
I was like, oh, that's the most crack pipe theory I've ever heard. Who's like, what the f are we talking? And then I went back and watched it.
Hey, you know what? Devin Dubnyk is a smart hockey mind. I trust the things that he says.
I didn't believe it at first. I didn't, and I went back and watched it, and I was like, yeah, you know what? He did do that, and he did it again tonight.
Yeah.
He did it. Like, he just finds that way to fall. He knows which way he wants to go, and he finds a way to do it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
The fastest game on ice just hit another gear. Welcome to the Stanley Cup Final, where legends are made and every shift could turn the tide. And now, with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can take every slap shot, breakaway, and overtime thriller to the next level. New to betting on the Stanley Cup Final? You're in for an exciting time. Getting started is a breeze. Fire up the DraftKings Sportsbook app, pick your team to win, lock in your wager, and you're off to the races. It's fast, simple, and puts you right in the middle of the action. Here's the kicker. New customers who bet just $5 will score $300 in bonus bets if their wager hits. That's right. Turn $5 into a Stanley Cup Final payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN. That's promo code THPN to unlock $300 in bonus bets when your $5 bet wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, and Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ftball. NFL Plus Premium offer available only to new and former NFL Plus subscribers. Additional NFL Plus Premium terms at nfl.com/terms.
He does. But, like, I think that's one of those goals where, like, I don't think that's overturnable. I think that's, like, if that was called no goal, goalie interference in the moment, I don't think that's overturnable. But call the goal in the moment, like, yeah, does he wing a little bit? Yes.
Absolutely. But that's the art of it, though. Is
and that is the art of it. Like, that's...
Because until you watch it, like, the fourth or fifth time, you're like, oh, son of a bitch, he actually does push off into him.
That's
like,
a goal.
But it's so 50-50 with the way they've called it. It's like I said last episode, the call on the ice will just stand.
Well, that's the problem. I had no problem with the challenge on it. I really didn't.
I didn't either, as long as they didn't burn the timeout, because that pisses me off.
Yeah.
Continue.
No, I do. I agree with that. Yeah. But that's not like I don't think that was a challenge like the LA one, you know?
No, totally different.
But that's a tough one. I mean, it's just like, again, it comes back to consistency in the reffing and consistency in the calling on it from Toronto.
Yeah.
Right? When things get challenged.
Absolutely. And no, it's just so disappointing to see the refs putting away their whistles to the degree they did at the end of the game. It cost us what was 5 beautiful periods of hockey.
Yeah.
For, I don't know, 10 minutes of doo-doo ass. I don't even have words for, like, the shenaniganery I saw on the ice.
Yeah. Well, again, it for me, it comes back to not making the call impacts the outcome the same way as making the call, right? And, like, that's always the thing the refs say as well. When it gets late, they don't want to be the ones who decide the game. And it's like, but you are.
That's your job.
That is your job. That is what they pay you to do.
What, you think a judge just sits there and sulks?
He's like, I don't know. I don't want to impact this serial killer's life.
This job's hard.
That's it, right? Like, no matter what, that your job is to be the one who keeps these games in line. And we know, right? Like, I'm having flashbacks to Boston here. Honestly. I said it last round, but, like, we know with the Panthers. If you let it get out of hand, it will.
Yeah.
If you let them run around, they will.
Absolutely.
You did a good job of keeping this a solid, because I think about Four Nations. They put the whistles away.
But they called that really blatant, obvious shit.
But they called the blatant ones. And the games didn't get Panthersy.
No, but they were really competitive. They were really good. They were really chippy.
But and the refs didn't really have to keep that game in line. The players were for real, like, shockingly in line, just dedicated to that win. And that's the thing is, right? If that's the case, then perfect. Don't make up calls and things like that. But, like, when you know these games are going to get out of line and these teams are going to push that line over and over and over as much as they can, you have to be the ones that keep it a fair game.
Yeah,
that's your job.
And you also don't have to make up calls.
Yeah,
there's more than enough to go around.
Yeah, 100%.
And I didn't really like the the call on Bouchard for the cross check after the fact.
No,
Like it's
neither
like
did I. I didn't
it's
like that either.
What do you mean? I've
Yeah.
seen Marchand throw like 30 cross checks in front of you.
Again, consistency.
Like, what are we doing?
Now we're calling that?
Yeah, like after 3 periods, you're gonna really call that right now?
Yeah.
Like Corey Perry was 100% spot on.
Yeah.
That's what you're calling?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, completely agree.
They just slashed our goalie twice. We went back at him, and you're gonna call us?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one of those things where it's like, take both, take neither. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you've already set the precedent and you've moved forward on it so many times.
Either way, I think this is just spectacular. One thing not so directly related to the series, but it is resting in the NHL. Hasn't really been a thing. The league's been very clear. Gary Bettman has been very clear that he doesn't want teams resting their players.
Yep.
Gate-driven league, obviously. When you rest players, families don't get to come or whatever. Or, well, they do and they're disappointed. Maybe that's their one game for the year. They don't get to see McDavid play. That sucks, right? But the Oilers and the Panthers are the two teams this year that said, F it. Screw that. We're resting, guys. Sorry. Deal with it.
It's the last 2 games of the season. You're already clenched. And I mean,
now they're both in the finals. Like, that's a trend-setting moment right there.
yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Even if I was 8 or 10,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd be bummed out if half the team that I was expecting to play didn't play that day. If I perchance landed on that one
For sure.
particular rest day, but I'd take a cup any day.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
That's a no brainer.
Yeah.
Give me the cup.
Yeah, I agree. All right, I think we can move off of this series so far. I don't know. We got a couple other things still to get to today, but I mean, what else is there to say? It's been amazing.
Yeah, no, it's been phenomenal. I'm so excited for Game 3. I still have Oil in 6.
Yeah, I got him in 7 still.
I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah.
And my only other takeaway is Lustranen is just Nathan Horton in a European coat.
I like that take. However, that's a little bit too respectful to Nathan Horton in my eyes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say reductionist, and I was like, I mean, yeah.
No, I think that's too respectful to Nathan Horton. I think Lucianen is legitimately a top line caliber NHL player. If he wasn't a Panther.
Horton had some 80-point seasons. I don't know.
You really think that?
Yeah, I actually do. I think that Lucianen as a two-way forward could probably be a top line contributor. Not a lead the team superstar, but a top line contributor.
Let's cross our fingers because I got him in fan tracks. My boy Edu.
Yeah, I actually forgot it was you that had him, and I'm honestly in this moment right now, my face might be going red on camera because he's very high. He was very high on my off season try to get guys, and I didn't realize that was you that had him, and I just said that out loud. So that's tough for me. That's a tough look.
That's a tough bid
for my Fantrax team. Anyways, let's move off of that, please.
More to come.
Damn it. What else we got? Dallas. Good night, Pete DeBoer.
Yep. DeBoer done in Dallas.
DeBoer done in Dallas.
And I've heard that his quotes about Ottinger were actually
a factor.
Yeah, it was a big factor, much like we expected. Because
totally.
At a certain point, you have to know that something has to give here.
Yeah.
You're going to either lose your goalie, who you just committed to for 8 years.
You're what you call your franchise goalie.
Who you need to be 100% on board right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or you shoot the coach out of a cannon.
Yeah. And the answer is pretty clear.
But and the thing about it too is I think he probably could have saved his job for another year if he took responsibility for the loss.
Probably, yes.
And I think it's just so telling about how sour everything got the second that he threw Ottinger under the bus.
Yeah.
Especially because without Ottinger, I don't think that they make it through the first round.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I just think it's again, just crazy.
So here's the thing now. So what's next for Dallas, right? There's word now that Jason Robertson's name is out there. They're looking to move him. You fire the coach.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jamie Benn stay?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Who else is going to take him and who else is going to pay him that much? Sure, he could go anywhere he wants, but I mean, like, not at the money he wants.
Well, I disagree. I think he's going to make more money if he goes to the market. Dallas won't be able to give him much. He's getting a pay cut.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's just, like, old and withering into that play style that you see so many vets fall into, where you're like, oh, wow, Patrick Kane signed a 1 year, $2 million contract. How the shit did that happen?
Yeah.
It's more now, but like that's because he proved that he can still play. But the point is that like when he first signed over in Detroit, we were like, that's all it took to get it done. I would have paid that.
But again, like,
if you told me he was available for that, I would have paid it. I thought he wanted 10.
yeah, I don't think Jamie Benn's there yet. Like, I don't think he's at that Kane hip injury contract level. And also, like, again, we're watching Brad Marchand and Corey Perry light up finals.
You're not wrong.
You think teams aren't going to be looking for their version of that guy for their team?
No, and I 100% believe Jamie Benn is like the next probable name if you go synonymous to Corey Perry.
Yeah.
I just also don't think he's like remotely close. Like I think the drop off between the two is just so horrendous right now. Like,
no, I agree with that. I just think teams are going to be looking at that.
You know, and you said Bennett goes to Toronto, and I don't think so, because I think that Toronto's just really good at dropping the ball on some of those signings.
Sure.
But they're also really good at a bullshit backup plan that has no chance of working. And that would be Jamie Benn. Jamie
Benn to Toronto feels like the most like on-brand signing ever.
Does it not?
Yeah, that's actually so facts. That's facts. I still think, don't get me wrong, I think it's most likely he stays a star. He seems to really like living in Dallas and all of that, right? Kind of like the Ekblad thing. Like, didn't he just come out and say like he loves Florida and he really wants to stay? That contract, that's one of those ones where like that's gonna come in lower than it seems like it should because he just loves playing there.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean,
and people are gonna scream up that it's tax.
No tax state.
Yeah, people are gonna scream.
You can afford to do that.
Yeah.
You can afford to do that.
I see it already.
I really like it here. You know what? I'm making the same amount of money whether I go somewhere else or not.
No.
It's true though.
I see it. No, I see it. I proof is in the pudding, folks.
Why go to Winnipeg for $8 million and get taxed half of it and not get to drive a sports car or a golf cart to work every day when you could just go and make $5 million in Florida and drive a sports car to work every day? That sounds like the better option every time.
Yeah, but that's not because of taxes. That's because it's Florida. Why would anyone want to go live in Winnipeg?
Well, I mean,
that's not exclusive to Florida.
I mean, you could run the same scenario back on, like, I don't know, Vancouver, and then you'd be like, sure, you get to drive a sports car year-round, but you're stuck in traffic.
Well, again, though, like, he loves the area. Like, he's made that very clear. He loves the area. He loves his team. He loves his coaches. Like, why go live in Vancouver? Or why would someone not want to go to Vancouver right now? I can't think of any reasons why someone wouldn't want to go to Vancouver. Yeah. Looks like everything's great there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they just had rumors about them potentially setting up their first practice facility.
Hey, that looks, I thought that was so hilarious. We got, like, legitimate, like, paparazzi photos Jim Rutherford and Patrick Alvine at this practice facility in South Burnaby.
And it's a community rec center. I just want to like point that out too. Like it's just like very like I've
But
seen
that's very common for practice facilities. They usually are repurposed unless they're built from the ground up, which like the new teams have that. Seattle has that. Vegas had that. But like Florida's, most of the rest of the leagues are repurposed community centers, and that one's brand new. Like it only opened about a year and a half ago. So it's a pretty good facility from what I've seen. It's got a couple sheets of ice, multiple community like gym rooms, stuff like that.
See, but my only issue with that,
Mhm.
build your own.
Why?
It was built for the community. F off. You have money. Go build your own shit somewhere else.
Yeah, but most of those centers, that's how those partnerships work, is they stay community centers. Right? Like they an NHL team's only using it.
Half the time, if
not
if
even
that,
right?
Yeah.
So often, like most organizations actually start their own like junior leagues through them, right? Like the Junior Sharks and things like that then play through those community centers and then get to be a part of kind of the organization as well. And it does end up being a cool thing.
If they are able to do that and look out for the community, then that's great. But I really hope they don't just swallow up a public facility and like put red tape around it for half of the year because they're like, oh, it's ours.
Now, I would put nothing past the Aquilini ownership group, but I do think that's very likely the most likely case because that's what also keeps the cost down. And if I know anything about Francesco Aquilini, he's cheap as hell.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So I do think that's likely. I don't know. I really need to go like super in depth about this potential practice facility for Vancouver? I guess
No,
not.
it's just
I don't know
funny
why I'm
and
doing that right now.
it's just silly and
I thought it was hilarious seeing that picture though. Like, hell yeah, we just got like paparazzi. Like, yeah, South Burnaby, cool. It's out of the way, but it's on the way to the airport, so that's good. It's a crappy part of town, like South Burnaby. Like, I'm from North Burnaby, so maybe I'm a little bit biased, but like South Burnaby ain't that nice. You know? I don't know.
I've never lived in Vancouver. I can't speak to your different boroughs and whatever you call them down
just got
there.
beef. You're all bums down
We
there.
we call them like municipalities here. I don't know what y'all call them in Vancouver. Is that like?
Yeah, I mean it is that way. Yeah, it's all.
Do you call them municipalities though, or are they like more like identified as like a borough or like?
No, they're more municipalities than boroughs for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, like cause like. Yeah, like New York and stuff, like they got boroughs. I mean, even like Toronto.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Vancouver, like those are municipalities. Those are different like cities, basically.
Yeah, they're like whole ass towns.
It's all greater Vancouver, but like Burnaby is not Vancouver.
Mm.
Like it's not. You know, Surrey definitely ain't Vancouver. Surrey's its own thing. It's a problem. You know, okay, I'm getting off track here. You know that Surrey? Okay, yo, Surrey has like some of the worst gang activity in all of Canada. It's really, really bad.
I read the local paper.
They don't have a PD. They rely on the RCMP for gang enforcement.
Oh, good.
Sick.
Relying on one of the biggest gangs to enforce gangs.
Yeah.
That's genius. While you're at it, why don't you just reincarnate Al Capone and get his help? Morons. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, hockey, yeah.
Nečas. Not
indeed.
happy at his new location.
Yeah.
Which lands Colorado kind of in the same place they were in just a few months ago.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a tough look. But honestly, I think it might not be the worst thing for them. As crazy as that's going to sound, because now you know you have a pending UFA that's not super happy, and you're looking to make changes anyway. That's a great trade option.
Yeah, and it's a high caliber piece.
It's a high caliber piece, yeah.
You can definitely fold him into any piece with a cup contender.
For sure.
Or even a rebuilding team.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Buffalo has some pretty attractive pieces. If I'm trying to contend for a cup again.
Mm-hmm. How old is Marty Nečas this year? Is he going to be 28?
Yes. No, I think he's a year younger than me. 27?
He's 26.
99.
So he'll be just like hitting traditional free agency as a 27-year-old. That's gonna be. I mean, it's rare to see like high caliber players hitting the market like right at 27. Right, often it's like kind of those later guys, you know, that are in there. Yeah, they were high caliber players, but now this is an age 34 contract. You know, like the Jamie Benns and stuff like we're seeing right now.
Absolutely, or the Corey Perrys, or the Brad
It's rare we
Marchands.
get this Mitch Marner stuff that we're getting this year. And, yeah, I mean, Marty Nečas, he's going to have a lot of options next summer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a guy who hasn't necessarily proven himself to the best of his potential. He has potential out the wazoo, and I believed it for a minute.
Yeah.
He's just flown so far under the radar for so long.
I don't really think he has, though. Like, teams pay attention to Carolina and Colorado. Like, other GMs, like, they've been watching him for a very long time.
They do. I just think he's like very akin to like an Ehlers type player.
I mean, Ehlers is going to get paid, too.
Oh, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's going to get paid. He's just not going to be like the first knock for a lot of teams.
Yeah, yeah. What's Nečas' career high in points?
It was definitely this year.
Yeah.
I know because I was mad I traded him for Jack Hughes, who blew his shoulder out.
83 points, 79 games.
Yeah, PPG.
I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah. It's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. Yeah, I mean, even before that, like that's the thing is he's a guy that I think teams are going to look at as hasn't hit his potential. And he's had 2 70-plus point seasons already. I mean, he's going to be a highly touted free agent.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if Austin Matthews hits the market, like he's not going to be the number one guy for sure, but he'll be up there.
No, he'll be a big signing, and I think it'll be pretty interesting to see what Colorado's willing to do, what they're able to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you could really land a good building block for a second, maybe even third generation cup run team.
Yeah.
If you play this right and you get creative with the assets you get back.
How, look, I really don't want them to do this, but it wouldn't shock me. Nečas plus for Elias Pettersson.
Yeah.
Given a bounce back, Elias Pettersson as a 2C in Colorado, like, sets them up to be disgusting next year.
It fits their mold so perfectly, too. Like, he is their brand of player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, through and through.
Interesting.
I like it. I like that.
Yeah. Honestly, not that dissimilar from the reported offer they had originally for Elias Pettersson when it was Carolina. Was for Nečas plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, when you know what you want, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I just think that, like, at the end of the day, it's still just such a goddamn shame that Colorado didn't get patient.
I know. It is. I agree.
Because it's almost like you could have avoided all of this.
Yeah.
And still had a better player.
I know. It's a shame. Like, it's just a shame because, like, really, like, not getting to see Ranton and McKinnon and Makar all together is just tough as a hockey fan. But then on top of that, too, it's, like, also just, like, you got to deal with that guy in your division for a decade now. Not quite, but pretty much.
And he doesn't like you.
Yeah.
That's the worst part.
That chip will never be off his shoulder.
No, he's going to have every single date with you circled.
Yeah.
And he's going to just wake up.
Terrorize you.
Yeah, he's going to wake up and he's going to have cereal with no milk.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go and do 100 push-ups on a nail of beds. Or a bed of nails. A nail of beds.
Yeah. He might do it.
He's going to be doing some, like, intense European, like, Rocky 3 stuff for this.
Yeah.
Or was it Rocky 2 with the blonde guy?
I think I've only seen the first Rocky.
Okay, never mind.
Actually, that's probably Cap. My dad liked those flicks, so I probably saw them when I was young. But I don't recall. Let's go back to Vancouver to finish this up here. PWHL.
Yeah, some exciting news
Yeah.
out of the P. So we got our expansion draft happening.
Indeed, yeah.
Phase 1 is the signing phase.
Yeah,
so
with the free agents.
yeah, all teams had the option of protecting, I believe it was like three players. And then all of the rest were going to be going up for the draft. And there's a 5-player signing window. Once you sign your 5 players, then you the other teams are allowed to add a 4th.
I see. Yep.
Protected player.
Right.
So now everyone's submitted their 4th, and they're going to be going into the actual draft.
Nice.
Actually, I think that might have happened today. Don't quote me on that.
Okay, we'll find out.
If it did, we'll cover it next week.
Yeah.
But this is just the top 5 initial signings. They're pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Pretty
absolutely.
Pretty loaded star power.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go through some names and a little bit of their bio.
Yes.
All of this is provided by PWHL Vancouver, all the graphics, all of the information. So shout out to them for being so on top of this, and shout out their social media team.
They've been killing it. Yeah, agreed.
They've been doing phenomenal out of the gate.
Agreed.
It's tough to get your finger on the pulse right away.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do you want to do the first one?
Yeah, I mean, first one's the one that needs no introduction. Sarah Nurse. If you know anything about the PWHL, if you know anything about women's hockey, you know Sarah Nurse. Already, 5th in PWHL career points per game average. One of the bigger names just in the sport,
One of the first women added into EA's NHL franchise entirely.
That's right, yeah.
And an all-star, an
All-Star?
NHL all-star
Yep.
alum.
NHL All-Star alum, indeed. In their PWHL's first season, she was tied 2nd in scoring. Fantastic.
Jen Gardner.
Yep.
She's out of Surrey, BC, so a little bit of homegrown talent.
Hometown woman right there.
Love to see that. 11th overall in the 2024 PWHL draft. 2nd among rookies in scoring with 18 points, 5 goals, 13 assists. Not bad.
Yeah.
Finalist for the 2025 PWHL Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, yeah.
Didn't win, but finalist. And
Sure.
you know what? That's pretty sick.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're in the conversation, brilliant. 2-time NCAA champion, and made her Women's World Championship debut with Canada in 2025, winning silver and finishing 2nd in tournament scoring. So that's a hell of a resume for quite a young player.
Yeah. Young hometown hero right there. From, like you said, Surrey. Shout out to your RCMP, as we talked about. No, that's really exciting. They also got Claire Thompson there, out of Toronto, Walter Cup champion this year, Defender of the Year finalist this year as well. That's fantastic stuff. 3rd in defense scoring with 18 points in 30 games, 4th in playoff scoring, 3rd overall pick a couple years ago in the 2024 draft. Super exciting there.
This one's really quite a tongue twister, so I
Yeah,
apologize in advance. Emirates Mashmeyer, I think. Mashmeyer, which is just a hell of a name. That's so
factual.
sick. Out of Berderheim, Alberta, the city name doesn't get easier to pronounce either from here on, folks. I'm sorry. And 2024-2025 season had a 913 save percentage and a 2.58 goals against average in 18 games. Led the inaugural season with 548 saves. First goaltender in PWHL history to reach 1,000 regular season saves.
And
2022 Olympic gold medalist with Canada.
Olympic gold medalist goaltender right there.
And 8-time world championship medalist. Wow.
Yeah.
What a resume.
Yeah. And last up we got there Sophie Jacques.
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 I also wanted to point out, I'm pretty sure that Marchand was the goalie from the Ottawa Charge. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sophie from Toronto here. She was a World Cup champion this year as well, 2025. Also Defender of the Year finalist. Tied for 2nd in points in the postseason. I don't know what the Patty Kazmaier award winner is, but she won that award. And also tied for points leader among defenders in the regular season this year as well. So it just exciting stuff that Vancouver got some fantastic players here, and it's just like also just marketable like names.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
going to be like exciting if you and I was about to say live in Vancouver, but even if you don't, if you live anywhere in BC and you want to be a PWHL Vancouver fan, exciting names to like, this is who I'm going to watch when I go to this game, you know?
Yeah, if you're just in the Pacific Northwest, like this is just super exciting, especially if you
Yeah.
haven't had the want, need, or family ties to be a Canucks fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a Canucks hater. I've just started warming up
I'm
to
aware.
them.
No, I'm aware.
I'm not about to fully hop on the, I'm not selling my Devils jerseys anytime soon. That's a lifelong obligation that I stumbled into.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're telling me that I got a chance to cheer on a new Vancouver team?
Yeah, totally.
With a fresh history?
Yeah.
And this kind of playing core?
Yeah.
Oh,
Exciting.
that's crazy. To start your signing phase by announcing that you got Sarah Nurse,
Sarah Nurse. Yeah.
the Sarah Nurse,
The Sarah Nurse.
the good nurse. Eat your heart out, Darnell.
Yeah. No, it's super exciting. Super exciting stuff. I mean, if you're the city of Vancouver, finally taking a dub here. Now they just need an NBA team back,
That'd be exciting.
and the PWHL team needs to draft Claire next year.
Yes.
That's gotta
Yes.
happen.
Absolutely. I'd love to see that. I feel cup bound. I don't know
Let's-
about you.
Let's go. Count me in.
I'm feeling cup bound.
Count me in. I don't need to see another Minnesota win.
No.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done.
Sheesh.
Whew, what an episode.
What an episode. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. What a night.
Yeah, I know.
Got out a little late. It's almost midnight again.
Yeah, as we do.
As somehow always happens. We could show up here at 8 o'clock and somehow get out at
At
midnight.
midnight.
So.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
As always, I'm your host, Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours truly.
Over there, we got a producer.
Producer Jay.
Keep your dang head up, y'all.
Keep your head up.
Boom.
Boom.
Stick tight. Stick tight. Stick out. Stick tight. Stick out. Stick tight.